I am not a competitive person. And the reason why I'm not a competitive person is because I don't see competition. I've never been the type of person that cares to win. I've never been the type of person that felt as though I needed people's approvals or people's validation to be worthy, to be seen as enough. I've never been that kind of person. And the reason being is because I only really compete with myself. When you have this perspective of comparing yourself to only yourself, you don't care if you win or lose. You don't even care if there's competition. You're not even a competitive person. The only reason why people are competitive and they feel the need to constantly win and constantly prove themselves is because they don't feel good enough. When you don't feel good enough, you feel the need to always win. You feel the need to always prove yourself, to always be better than everyone else. Because when you feel that way, you feel like you get that extra boost of confidence. You get that extra proof of validation. But when you realize you are enough just as you are because you're better than who you were a day ago, oh baby, you're already enough as is. You don't need to compete. You don't need to prove anything to anybody. Your energy just speaks for itself. And so I want to make this video to let y'all know that the only competition is you. We're not competing with Samantha. We're not competing with David. We're not competing with the other team. We're not competing with the other school. We're not competing. There's no competition. There's none. The only competition there is you being a better version of you. If you are better than where you were a year ago, you're succeeding. If you have grown mentally, you're succeeding. If you are more stable than you were 2-3 years ago, you're succeeding. And the more you look at life in that way, you will never see competition. Competition doesn't exist. You don't feel the need to win. You don't feel the need to prove anything because you know that you're better than where you were before. And that is enough. That is more than enough. So for me, I'll meet people. You know, I used to live in LA, not anymore. And living out there, everyone is very competitive. Everyone wants to prove how wealthy they are. Everyone wants to prove how fancy their cars are. Everyone wants to prove how enlightened they are, how spiritual they are, whatever. Everything feels so competitive. And I'm not a competitive person. So being in that environment and being around those type of people and being around that energy doesn't sit right with me. Because the way I process things, I'm like, why? Why do you need to prove anything? Why do you need to show off anything? What is the reason? The only reason I can think of is you don't feel like you're good enough, so you feel as though you have to prove that you're better than other people so that you feel good about yourself. But why? Once you win that game, once you win that award, once you get the accolades, you feel good for like a couple minutes, and then after that, then what? Life goes on, time keeps moving. So what difference does it make if you win or lose? What difference does it make if you get the validation or not? What really matters is, are you better than where you were yesterday? Because me, literally a year ago, I was going through a depression. I was depressed. I was living in a city where I was miserable. I was unhappy. I felt unstable. I felt not at peace. And I was depressed. But a year later, I'm content. I'm grounded. I'm stable. I love myself. I'm confident. I'm ambitious. I have goals. So when I compare myself to myself, I'm that girl. I'm amazing. I'm beautiful. I'm magnificent. And it's because I'm only comparing myself to who I was. And the more that you do that, the more that you realize that you are growing, that you are evolving, that you are an amazing human being. And even if you don't realize that, sometimes people compare themselves to themselves and they realize, ooh, I haven't grown in 2 years. That is why free will is a beautiful thing, because at least you know that, and now you can take action to change. You're like, you know what? I read a journal of mine from a year ago, and you know what? I haven't changed. I'm still anxious. I'm still depressed. Well, congratulations for being self-aware. That's a beautiful thing. Let's be proud of that. Let's acknowledge that. But now, since you are aware of that, let's take action to change that. What can you do to be better? You read that journal entry and you realize that you still have that same low self-esteem, that low mindset. What can you do to better yourself? Maybe you go to therapy. Maybe you change your friendship group. Maybe you change your job that's been draining you. Maybe you change your relationship that you've been in that has caused a lot of anxiety for you. What can we do to change that? And when you make those changes, you will change. Because nothing changes if nothing changes, right? So when you make those changes, you will change and therefore become a better person. So then a year later, 6 months later, after you read that journal entry from 2 years ago, you're gonna realize, oh my gosh, I'm a completely different person. Wow, I've grown so much. Wow, I'm way more confident. Wow, I speak more positively about myself. That's an amazing thing. Wow, I have more money in my bank account. Wow, I'm more stable. Wow, I have more clarity about my future and about my goals. That's an amazing thing to be proud of. And you will be so proud of yourself. You're like, what competition? What competition? Because there is no competition. It's an illusion. Yeah, you might win that game, but it's like, okay, like I personally don't care to win. I don't care if I win. I don't care if I lose. I don't care. I've been underestimated most of my life. I don't care if I win something or if I don't, because at the end of the day, I know that I'm better than where I was, and that is a beautiful thing to celebrate. And if no one else celebrates it, I'm gonna celebrate it for myself. So I want y'all to realize that there's no such thing as competition. Competition is an illusion. Competition is an insecurity that holds you back. Compare yourself to yourself. Go back and read your journal entries from 10, 15 years ago. Okay? Go journal today. Journal. If you don't have a journal to look back at from years ago, journal today. Take the time, get a piece of paper, journal about your life today. And keep taking steps to changing, to evolving. And then a year from now, read that journal entry and it's gonna be night and day, 2 different people. And you're gonna be like, wow, I've changed so much. And you're gonna be so proud. And you're not gonna care if someone has more money than you, or someone's prettier than you, or someone's smart. You don't care because you see your growth. Focus on your growth, focus on your achievements, and you will never see competition again a day in your life. But you gotta stay disciplined in that, and you gotta stay consistent in that. So, just wanted to make that video to let y'all know there's no such thing as competition. You are your only competition, babe. Compare yourself to only you and grow and evolve and put in that work and love yourself. And honey, you're gonna be unstoppable. You're gonna be invincible. You're gonna be like, what? Someone's trying to compete with me now? Oh, why are you trying to compete with me? I only compete with myself. I don't need to compete with you. I don't need to prove nothing to nobody. I don't need to win this. I'm already winning that life. I'm better than what I was a year ago. I was depressed a year ago. I wanted to end my life a year ago. And now I enjoy life and I want to live life. That is something to be proud of. That is something to acknowledge. Who cares about you won an Oscar or not? Who cares? What matters is, have you changed? Have you evolved? Have you grown? Have you become a better person than where you were? That's what matters. That's the only competition. You are your only competition. Don't forget that. Hope you all enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you guys subscribe and check out more videos and more content of mine. Make sure you comment down below and let me know how you guys are feeling. Let me know what you guys think of the video, and make sure you like it, make sure you share it, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Bye.